there's some terminologies, if we are going to become close to the Quran, that we have got to become familiar with. One of it is ayah, which means a sign, or translated sometimes as a verse. Ayat is the plural. And so there is verses in the Quran. There's roughly 6,236 verses in the Quran. Then there's something called surah, which literally means a row or a fence or a chapter. And surah is the plural. And so there are 114 surah or surah of the Quran. These surahs, these chapters consist of verses. Some surahs have very small amount of verses, 4 or 5 verses. Some may have hundreds of verses. So the surahs are of different lengths, varying sizes. So you have short, very small surahs, and then you have very large surahs. And then these surahs are compiled together into 30 different portions called a juz. Ajza is the plural. So we have 30 juz, or 30 portions of the Quran. So each juz, or each portion, they're approximately equal in length, but they comprise different numbers of surahs. And so we have the one portion, we call it sometimes a book, the book of the Quran, or first book, or para. Some of you may know it as para. Amsipara and different para. So this is the juz. It's 30 of those. A manzil is like, if you want to read the Quran out in a week, then they have a way in which they have broken down the Quran to 7 portions. And so they have signs at the side of the book that will tell you this is a manzil. And so you can read 1/7 each day and finish the Quran in a week. Then they have hizb, which is like 1/8 of a surah. The manzil is 1/7 of the whole Quran. A hizb is like where each surah, the surah is broken down into 8 portions. And usually people, when they refer to the Quran, they call it mushaf. You may hear this term, so I want to mention it here. Sometimes we say the book of the Holy Quran or so on, but you will hear people say mushaf, which means a collection of pages, because the Quran actually was loose pages that get compiled. And so one of the beautiful terminologies that we refer to it by is called mushaf. Now, when you open the Quran, there are many, many pieces of information that you could learn about quickly. First of all, this is the one that has the color-coded Quran that I chose, and different Quran will have different levels of information. So I picked this color-coded Quran, and here's some of the information. At the top, you have the number of the surah, and the surah number, the name, and the number of the surah. So this is Al-Mu'minun, and it is 23rd surah of the Quran. Then you have the page in English and Arabic that is listed at the top. Then you have the juz number in English and Arabic. In other words, which para or which juz is this surah in. And so it is telling us that it says Qad Aflaha, that it is the 18th portion of the Quran, the 18th juz. So you're in the 18th juz. This is the 23rd surah. Then below that, you have the number of verses. They tell you that this ayatuha, and it says that there's 118 verses. It's written in Arabic. That this particular surah has 118 verses. And then you will see in the middle, it says Suratul Mu'minun, and it tells you the name of the surah. And at the side before the surah, you see 2-3 in Arabic, 23rd number surah. Then on the left-hand side, you see ruku'uha, number of ruku' in surah. Now, a ruku' is a very interesting thing. And I was debating whether to even bother with it. But this was something that is developed by the brothers when they recite Taraweeh Salah. They have developed a system where the Quran gets organized into 540 ruku. And so 540, if you divide that by 27, you get 20. So in order to help them to finish the Quran on the 27th night of Laylatul Qadr, they have developed this system of the ruku, and so they are able to read every night. So you have 20 ruku, and if you finish 20 ruku in a night, then a 20 ruku in a night, 20 ruku in a night, and so in this way they could finish the book on the 27th night. So it makes it very easy for them. So every night all they're doing is taking those 20 ayat, 20 rak'ah of salah, and they read one ruku in every salah. And so every rak'ah of tarawih, they read one ruku, and so it enables for them to keep track. Sometimes you may wonder, how do they keep track of all this thing they're reading? They actually have a very, very detailed system of how they do it. And so the ruku gives an idea of one every night they read. Now, except one chapter of the Quran, there is Basmala or Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim that appears above the surah. So every surah except the 9th chapter, Surah At-Tawbah, there is no Bismillah. So when we are reciting the Quran, Bismillah is an important part that we need to recite. Now there's another thing which is mentioned in the Quran that we must say before Bismillah, and that is A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. It's called ta'awuz, seeking refuge in Allah from shaitan. So when we are about to recite the Quran, we say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and then we recite. Now, the way we know one verse from the next is you will see a circle. And in that circle, we'll have a number in Arabic telling you which verse was just completed. So like you see, Qad aflahal mu'minun, and then there's a circle, and it says 1. That means I've just finished one verse. Alladhina hum fi salatihim khashi'un, then it says 2. And so in this way, we are able to keep track of the verses in which we're reciting. So that's how you know the verse. There's a circle, and then they have a number inside. Now, whenever you begin a new portion, like a new juz of the Quran, because there are 30 of juz, 30 juz, every time you start a new juz, you would usually find that they would try to help you to know when you're beginning a new juz. One of the ways they do it is they shade the verse or that line to tell you we're about to begin a new juz. So if you look at the Qad aflahal mu'minun alladhina hum fi salatihim, it's shaded yellow. And the line after that is not shaded. It's just regular lines. So the reason why they put that in yellow is to let us know we're about to begin a new juz of the Quran. Sometimes they don't shade with color, but they may put bold. They may bold-face it and make it a little high. Sometimes they write those letters larger than the regular letters. So you have, but it always will indicate to you some way that you're about to begin a new juz. You can always look up, of course, from one page to the next, it will change. And so now we have a new juz. It will say juz 8:17. Now you're in juz 18 when you look at the page. And so that's how we're able to do that. All right.